Why do you think men aren't approaching women anymore?
Why do you think what?
Men aren't approaching women
let me
anymore.
do this one. They're so full of themselves. They literally love themselves. Sorry. They're literally all up in your grill. They just think that, like, they're not that, like, no one wouldn't like them.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody likes you. Make us like you, and then we'll like you.
What can a guy do to make you like him?
Just be nice. How about being nice?
You don't like nice guys, let's be honest.
No, how about like ask
A gentleman.
A gentleman?
Ask questions and listen.
Okay.
Listen.
So someone who's attentive. Okay. Listen. Okay, a listener, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
The fact that you even go up to a woman, creates the relationship. It creates that connection in the first place. Most women don't go up to men for the first time, right? They do. Don't get me wrong. But men usually make that initial approach or that initial conversation, right? You have options. Just because you find her so attractive and you're just trying to really pin her down, like I said, no woman wants to be fully obsessed over like that, especially when you're not dating yet.
I love being a woman.
Oh, but I thought you didn't want to be approached. So why aren't you asking those other women that are sitting if they'll give up their seat for you? Why does a man that you don't even know have to give up his seat? And for a lot of men, the second he says anything to you, I have a boyfriend, or you look scared, or you look uncomfortable. A lot of ladies have made thousands of videos saying, we don't want to be approached, we don't want to be talked to by men, don't even look in my direction. And men heard loud and clear. And the funny thing is, while you're standing there shaming these men, if you were to kindly ask a man if you could have his seat, I guarantee you would find someone that would give up their seat for you. But instead, you're shaming the very people that you expect to give up their seat.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video. A lot of these modern women live in delusion. The way my relationship is going to be perfect, and he's going to do as I say. What? No.
When a man goes quiet and stops dating, did he lose or did he learn nowadays?
I think sometimes it's a burnt out situation. I think, there's times where talking to a few of you guys where you're just kind of like, I'm over it.
Hell no, I'm here to chill and enjoy. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen by random. Like God gonna have to come down and say, hey, big dog, check this out.
I feel like there's a lot more people now that are starting to say, like, if I don't meet this, like, my person through someone else that I know in real life, like, I'm cool. I'm not trying to do
I'm chilling.
all this stuff.
Hell nah. Like, I'm chilling.
I think modern women don't really understand that having standards are fine. It's just when it sounds like a demand. It sounds like entitlement. And then on top of the entitlement, you don't really offer anything else.
I've learned a lot of men have anger problems. Like, they just do not like the rejection. I think that's a sign of maturity if a man can just kind of take the rejection a little bit and handle it in a mature way. I've had a lot of men who, as soon as they have a sign of rejection, they just flip. They start calling you names. Oh, you weren't even that hot anyway. You're like, okay.
It's when their true colors come out and it makes you feel better about your decision. Like, I dodged a bullet.
Right. Exactly. I started talking to this guy who had moved from another state 2 months ago. He already was just, terrorizing the Arcadia area. All these girls, have you ever heard of the T app and the Facebook groups and everything? If all these women are saying the same things, oh, he just invited me over for a nap to sleep together, or, true stories. And then I had the same experience with a guy. It's like, okay. And he had only been in Phoenix for 2 months. And I had already seen all these girls that were just, telling their stories about him.
Message! From your vantage point, why aren't men chasing and approaching women to the same degree?
Well, it's their behavior. It's the behavior, the attitude, the entitlements, the expectations, the expectations that they have from men these days for relationships is ridiculous, in my opinion. What you expect from a man, the approach. Men are probably one of the reasons they're probably scared to approach because of the attitudes how they might You know, nobody wants to be, it's one thing, in my opinion, to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Rejected, but it's how. You know, and a lot of these women are just entitled. They think that they're better than average men. And so if a man, an average man see a woman that he thinks is attractive, he doesn't know what he's going to be met with. You know, she could be like, ew, get away from me. Oh my God. Why are you they think that they're too cool for school. Like, you can't approach them. If you do, it's like, if they don't like you, it's like, you know, they treat you like you're something ill, something nasty. Like, so if I was a man, I wouldn't approach either. The entitlements, the things that they're asking for, you got to make 6 figures. You got to pay their rent just to take them on a date. Like, who in that is doing that?
You know, I think modern women don't really understand that having standards are fine. It's just when it sounds like a demand. It sounds like entitlement. And then on top of the entitlement, you don't really offer anything else.
One of the biggest ways you can disrespect yourself as a woman is by staying in a relationship with a man who refuses to commit to you. I've said this before, but men know very, very quickly if they want to marry you. Like, within the first conversation, they're either thinking she's wifey or she's not. So if a man is dragging you on for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years with no ring, then he has commitment issues, and you're doing yourself a disservice by staying in that relationship. Masculine men know what they want, they make the decision, they go for it. They don't leave you guessing. There's also this big joke among women where they're like, yeah, I've been hinting it, I've been sending him rings, I've basically been asking and begging. No. You shouldn't even have to do that. My husband basically said, marry me or I'm leaving you. We're either doing this to get married or we're not doing this at all. So if you know that you want to get married, yet the man in your life that you want to marry is not showing that and not making the decision, then you are only disrespecting yourself by staying in that relationship. You should never have to beg to be proposed to, and I stand on that.
A lot of these modern women continue to say silly stuff and talk about how men are intimidated by their success and their lifestyle, and it's not really that. I'm just uninterested is really what it is. It's 2 different things. I'm uninterested and I don't want to be bothered by that fool.
If you need money and you don't want a lecture from her, just call up her mom. That way you can get your money without making her super upset.
Where are the men who would wake up just so they could be the man who wakes up next to you?
Well, I'm sorry to have to break it to you, but those men, they've already woken up and they've left. Because you see, men have now realized there's no real benefit to waking up next to you. We've seen that while you demand things from us, you offer little to nothing in return. At least not anything we can't already get without involving ourselves in a relationship with you. And on top of that, for decades now, y'all told us you didn't want us. Y'all told us you didn't need us. We heard you. And now we're off making a better life for ourselves. One that doesn't involve you. Would we like to have a great relationship? Sure, who wouldn't? But men have finally figured out that the risk simply isn't worth the reward anymore. And now that you guys are figured out that we figured it out, well, now you're wondering, where did all the men go? And then there's this.
Like, where are the men who would walk 500 miles?
And I would walk 500 miles. Now you know why I was never the lead singer in any of the bands I was in. Anyway, last I knew, they were raking in the royalties still from that song they created 30 years ago.
These modern women think that a man is supposed to want what she wants. I say the plan, I announce it, you're supposed to want it too, right? If your vision is different from mine, then you must not really even like me. You gotta be exactly like me.
I was 100% sure that my husband and I, that we are done. This is done. Then when there was this other man, I fell for head over heels. I couldn't control my feelings. I felt like, okay, that's just life pointing me towards a new destiny. It's just an invitation from life to move on.
This is exactly why men are done with women that do not take accountability, because this is what it leads to. Down the road, she's going to use this excuse that she cannot control her feelings. I don't know who needs to hear this, but women, your feelings don't need to control you. You're supposed to be emotionally intelligent enough to be able to discern the difference between having a feeling and actually taking action on it. And this might sound harsh, but if you can't do that, you have no business being in a marriage.
If you're serious about finding your person, then let's talk about how this actually works, because finding your husband is not about fate. It's about alignment and obedience. You need to stop chasing and start shaping. See, here's the thing. You definitely need to look the part, but invest more time and energy into building the character of a wife and not the hype. A woman that nurtures what was there, protects the peace and the peace of her future marriage, while elevating her husband to a higher place than he was before. Remember, you still need to grow with him. I keep saying there are no shortcuts in this game, though God can fast track you if you've done the work. Allow God to work on your heart, work on your habits, your discernment. Every step is not about finding someone new to date. It's about becoming who God needs you to be so that you're ready when they arrive. Look, the truth is, love doesn't come by striving harder. It comes by being correctly positioned. And that's what the prayer should be. Being strategically positioned, prepared to submit to God's timing. Because when God is involved and he brings the right man that's deserving of you, there is no confusion at all.
These modern women are wanting masculine behavior. They're wanting traditional behavior. But then when a man gives that to them, then they mock it. They make fun of it. Oh, ha, ha, he, look what he's doing. I'm doing what you asked me to do. It's just that you don't recognize it because you don't know what masculine behavior is.
Listen, to all you women out there that's on social media crying about not being able to find a good man, asking where are all the good men, saying like there are no good men left or men in this generation ain't, and you 35, 40 years old now with 3 kids by 3 different baby daddies. Let's take a trip down memory lane. Let me refresh your memory. About 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago, that good guy that you're looking for now, that provider, that protector, he came into your life maybe more than once, maybe on 3 or 4 different occasions. That man came into your life, but you cheated on him. Yeah, you remember that? You betrayed him. You lied to him. All right, he asked you out on a date, you agreed, and you stood him up. You remember this? That man came into your life. That opportunity, that chance has came and left. That ship has left the dock and sunk, baby. You 40 years old with 3 kids by 3 different baby daddies. You frustrated because you're doing all this on your own because of you. Your fault. You got to live with this. So don't get on social media screaming to the top of your lungs, expressing your frustration about how you can't find a good man. That man came. You it up, baby.
I have a lot of these singles events that are full of women. Men absolutely checked out. That empty room, well, it's a room full of women, but you know, that room that's empty with like no men there, that's a sign. That's a sign. I'm not coming. I won't be here. That's not an accident.
You've been married for decades, and I'm going to give you a scenario. You're in the ocean on a boat. It's just you, your wife, your only young child. Your wife and your child get thrown into the water. They're knocked out. You can only save one. The other will. Who are you saving?
I'm saving my wife for sure.
So if it was me, you going to let me?
I would hope maybe I can come back and look for you, but I'm saving my wife.
Okay, break it down, please. Because everybody keeps saying to me, Sarah, you ain't never had kids, so you don't know the real answer. I said my husband. Why do you say mom?
Well, because the fact of the matter is, like, I can have more kids, thankfully, but I can never have a queen, another wife, another life partner, and the woman I love, like your mom. I can never have that in another person, even in another person, because there's something special about that one that you truly love, and you would never have that in another person. So she becomes that diamond in the rough, and that's my life partner. That's who God, the Creator, has given me. I honor that, and I know that, yeah, she would be my first priority. And I would try to save the kid too, but she would be my first priority. And that's that.
I'm the same. And I think what I've learned is you just got to be with the same type of person that thinks the way you think. Because for me, order of family is God, my spouse, my children, everybody else.
If you really want to understand why a man chooses marriage, you need to stop believing everything culture told you. When a man decides to get married, he's not doing it for the reasons most women think. Let me be honest with you. A man can already provide for himself. He doesn't need a wife to survive. Yeah. He can cook, he can clean, his mother taught him, or he can pay someone to do it. He doesn't need marriage for either. Yeah. If he wanted only that, he could get it from multiple women. Yeah. And let's be real, many women give it away freely. So if culture is constantly telling men, don't get married, stay free, stay unattached.
Yeah.
Why would a man ever go against that? There's only one reason.
Yeah.
Because a wife gives him something he can't get anywhere else.
Yeah.
Not from a roommate, not from casual dating, not from other women. With a wife, he gets love, he gets nurturing, he gets emotional support, he gets affection, he gets a safe place to land.
Yeah.
And this is where many relationships break. In the beginning, you gave him those things. You were soft, you were warm, you were respectful, you believed in him.
Right.
But over time, resentment crept in. You started focusing on his flaws. You started keeping score. You compared him to other men.
Yeah.
And slowly you pulled back the love, the affection, the nurturing. And now you're confused why he feels distant, why he's pulling away.
Yeah.
But the truth is simple. If a man stops receiving the one thing he chose marriage for, he starts questioning why he chose it at all.
How men are treated in a lot of these systems has fundamentally altered the way they approach things and they go about things. You wonder why men are checking out of society and why men are not buying into a lot of this nonsense. It's because modern women in the system really honestly and truly continue to screw them over and over again. And y'all not hearing them when they say, hey, I don't think that this is fair.
I've decided I need to leave Australia and go to America because listen, I be seeing all these videos with all these American men and I'm like, oh, child, they're so much better looking. I'm sorry, Australian men, you're just not hitting.
I need an American husband, and these are the reasons as to why. Number one, I have just found out that Americans are the most patient people on planet Earth because of how far they are willing to drive. They will do 2-hour drives just to go to the dentist. I made a video asking what a road trip is classed to them. They're all saying they've driven for 20 hours straight before. I need a man who is willing to have the drive and patience that they have over there. Two, the reason why I need an American husband is the pure fact that I have always dreamt of buying a hot dog at a football game, a basketball game, a baseball game. Can you imagine me sat there with a hot dog just enjoying the game? That is my idea of heaven. Number three is I have always dreamt of being a passenger in an American car. The sheer sight of me sat in a passenger seat in a massive Camaro or a Ford truck, that genuinely sends shivers down my spine.
All right, we've had this conversation many times, but now that I've actually been to America, let me explain to you, okay? Let me tell you the truth and the deeds. Fact of the matter is, American men are willing to go after what they want. Like, they see you, they like it, they will approach you. Australia, you might cop that, and that's it.
You have a lot of brothers that are steady. They show up, they plan everything. And yet these modern women are still complaining, you know, and they complain and they complain and they nag and they nag. And once a man stops answering, once a man stops, man loses interest, honestly. Then all of a sudden it's, oh man, oh God, he just fell out of love with me. The relationship, how could it even come to this?
What's real about gender? There are hormones that go with the gonads. And if we don't understand what they do to the construct of the brain itself and how they shape perception and interpretation and sight, we don't even have the same vision and hearing. There's so many things that are different. And one of the really cool things about it is y'all don't hang on to as much stuff as we do. So if the person in front of you, how they're being right now is something that has you lean in instead of, right? You lean in and you might be going, whoa, this is different, but let's see, instead of, she's different now, but will she be different tomorrow? You know, that's much more rare for a man to do that, common for a woman to do that. Yeah, let's see how long this lasts. And then it doesn't, right? Because in the next instance of being related, you keep being regarded as an enemy or skeptically, or what are you up to? Or, which is, it's normal, it's human, but it's never going to bring out the best.
You can't spend your 20s having a hoe phase and expect that there will be good men waiting for you when you're done. We live in this culture that celebrates women putting off commitment until later. Like your 20s are meant to be sleeping around and partying. Average age of settling down, getting married, having kids, those are all becoming later and later. Women who get married young, have kids, they're told that they're naive, that they're missing out, that they're like wasting time. You need to live for yourself first. All those like catchphrases that we use. A lot of women listen and they go through these phases during their 20s, but then the narrative shifts when they hit their 30s and they look around and they're like, wait, where are all the good men? Like, you just can't find a good man. The dating scene is horrible. You hear women complaining about that all the time, and nobody wants to be honest about that phenomenon and what just happened. The dating pool isn't static. It doesn't just stay the same. People form relationships, people get married, people have families, and they get out of there. Men who are stable and intentional and want something serious, they're not just like in this untouched pool waiting for later. And of course, I know there's gonna be people that are gonna comment and be like, well, I met my soulmate after decades of partying and it's like he's an amazing guy that was just waiting, or I know so-and-so got married in their 50s. Okay, those are like exceptions to the rule. That doesn't usually happen. If you don't want to settle down, you don't want to get married, whatever, this message isn't for you, but the people who actually want like good, decent men and who want to build families with these men, they're not just sitting around waiting for later. You're not going to get into your 30s and be like, oh, the great men, they're here waiting. No, they either A, already got married and settled down with someone, or B, they haven't found someone yet, but they still have very high standards and they're not going to settle for somebody who has been partying around for decades and then now wants them. They'll just go for someone younger. A lot of women don't want to hear that and they don't like that, but it's the truth, whether you like it or not.
Feminine energy is the leader in a relationship and masculine energy is the execution. I don't think that men are giving directions in a relationship. Every relationship I know, every marriage I know, the wife actually decides what to do with the money and the husband does it. The wife is the one to like buy what do we need. The husband needs to go get the groceries. So I feel once we are real about leadership is owned by women in relationships, but the execution and the operational part is clearly on the masculine side, then every marriage is going to be happy.
Men are confused with how women are moving. Women are confused with how men are moving. Both are getting advice from bad places, using old patterns, and instead of doing the one thing, ladies, you're talking to too many men. So by the time you interact with the one guy you like, you're still not ready to cut off all that other attention because you like it. So as soon as a new relationship comes along, and what 50 years ago would have been a hiccup becomes a complete break. What are we left with? A bunch of strong, independent, educated women, a bunch of guys out here, a bunch of...
I'm a PhD.
And when somebody feels like they could possibly be getting played instead of doing the one thing, when I talk to people about what's going on in their relationship, it's usually in under the first 6 months. And you know what the problem is? Confusion. Confusion. What do I mean by confusion? When you start out talking to somebody, interacting with somebody, you don't lay out how you like to be communicated with, what you expect, what you want to do, because everybody wants to have this nonchalant when that's really not the case. And the issue is, the one issue that's driving modern dating, making modern dating untenable, is confusion. How do we deal with the one issue that's ruining your interactions? You should still walk away from it better. You shouldn't walk away from it bitter. Confusion, poor communication skills, lack of conflict resolution. These are the three things that tend to lead into massive confusion.
I always say the way to determine how serious someone is about you is not in seeing what they do on their own, is seeing how they handle your expression of concerns and feelings. All right?
Okay.
That's what's going to show you how, not just how serious they are about you, but how mature they are, and if they're emotionally ready to be in a relationship. Because someone who cannot hear you out is not ready for a real relationship, all right? But if they can sit, talk to you, listen, not dismiss, and now make positive changes, all right, then it's all good.
I find that's the thing that's so hard today, because that requires healing. To be able to hear someone out, to be able to listen to someone's concerns and challenges and how they feel, and to actually validate it without invalidating yourself, right? I think that's why we struggle so much, because, or if I validate you, then I'm invalidating myself. Maturity is, oh, I could validate you and also stand true to who I am.
Yes.
That's a healed individual. And
I've seen the recent discourse on here about how men don't really understand what casual relationships are. I want to go one step further than that and say that I don't think men think dating is fun.
No, and I'm glad we're actually finally talking about it, because this is a large reason of why I stopped dating entirely. Because yes, it wasn't just like one thing, but this was a very large part of it. And I haven't been on a date in like almost a year, maybe over, but I kept running into only two types of men it seemed to exist in the dating pool. And that was either the man who would take you out on one date and decide that he was in love with you. And you could feel the engagement bells going off in his head. After one singular date, they would become obsessed. And I didn't want anything to do with that, because obviously we do not know each other after one date. This has nothing to do with me, clearly. Like, these men were locked in on the thought of getting married, and I honestly thought it was just an age thing at this point. But then you do bring up a good other perspective, which is the other kind that is like, it's so casual, they're not even treating you like humans. And the vibes are giving like you're gonna end up in somebody's trunk, and that's what the dating apps seem to be left with these days. And I do think there's two things to blame here. Obviously, right? Capitalism, stress of the world. Everyone is just tired. But you don't see women doing this. So then the other option is also the manosphere, because the manosphere teaches you two types of living, right? One, get as many girls as you can and treat them like garbage to prove you're like an alpha male Chad. Or two, get a wife, have kids, a home, traditional family values. And if you think about it, this also ties back perfectly to the male loneliness epidemic. Yes, men are proving they cannot casually date women, get to know them, have fun, learn things about them, because they also are proving they can't do that with their own friends. So women, like myself, are building our friendships. I have grown exponentially in girlfriends recently in the last couple of years, because you know what? Girls just want to have fun. It's true. Welcome to the women's sphere, ladies.
3 reasons why a man will ignore you. Number 1, sadly, if he does something wrong, he does not want to admit to it. So he will just ignore you and try to do anything but talk to you so that you can hold him accountable for it. So that's how you know. Number 2, when he thinks that you are out of his league, when he thinks that he has no chance with you whatsoever, he will just ignore you, because he doesn't want to get his ego hurt or his ego bumped from not getting you and trying to get you, so he will just ignore you. So if he thinks he has 0 chance, he's gone. And number 3, when you hurt him, a guy will never say to you, "You hurt me, you hurt my feelings." So he will literally just not respond if you hurt those feelings. They don't want to say it. They will do anything but say it and admit to that. So if he does admit to it and he does say you hurt his feelings, he is a mature, grown man, and keep that man.
Fellas, how are we feeling about this? He made his girlfriend a Hello Kitty bouquet all by himself. Then this guy says, "This is how every man starts. Godspeed, little bro." Number 1, I hope this guy right here can stay in this mode for as long as he can. My goal for him is to find a girl who really appreciates this and stays with him for life. Because men, we are the real romantics. Women receive romance, we give romance. And here's what happened to almost every guy watching this. We gave romance over and over and over to the wrong girl, and basically women beat romance out of us to the point where it's like, yo, y'all ain't worth it. Because every guy watching this right now has a villain story where they did something so beautiful, so nice for a girl, just for her to hook up with the football player or the other guy. And you're like, wait a minute, I did all this for you, and you did that to me? Like I said, hopefully he can stay this way for as long as he can, and hopefully a girl doesn't beat the romance out of him.
We really need to the narrative. I'm so tired of it, honestly. All men are the same. There are no good men out there. I'm so sick of hearing it. It's plenty of good men, plenty. But unfortunately, sis, you haven't had a chance to experience one yet because you're too broken. Yes, you are too broken. Or maybe you don't know your self-worth and your self-love is at an all-time low and you don't know how to choose. You out here choosing anybody that's choosing you. Yes. There's plenty of good men, but you have to heal first. You have to forgive the men that hurt you. You have to forgive yourself for allowing it to happen. And once that process starts, self-love, self-worth at an all-time high. Yes, Now you know how to choose. Yes. Now you can operate with a clean heart instead of a broken heart. Because a lot of us that think that way are broken. There are plenty of good men. And no, they're not standing at the corner. No, you can't catch them in the bar every night getting drunk. Stop looking there. Stop. Plenty of good men. But you have to fix you. You have to heal. You have to want to heal. The narrative. There's plenty of good men.
I had a broad one time. We was out to eat, and she was like, "Yo, can my friend come?" I'm like, "Sure, it don't matter. We chilling." She was like, "If you pay for it, you know, I'm gonna pay you back for her food." Cause broad already know me. Yeah. She know it's gonna be. Now I'll do it. I ain't say, yeah, like we out at the same time. Sometimes you're like, man, if I ain't hitting that, man, I ain't paying for food. But you know, if I'm out and I'm with you and your friend come, all right, whatever, I'll pay for the meal. But she already initiated, like, oh, hey, my friend gonna come. We gonna order this. I'm gonna make sure I Isaiah the money, right? You know, and I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. I ain't tripping on it. Yeah. But the test was, is she gonna make sure that she tell me about it? She never did. Wow. And so I knew to put her in that category. I tell people all the time, the test ain't to get mad at the broad. The test is to find out who she is. Who she is. That's your character. Ain't no way if I'm out with you and I say something, I'ma do it. I owe you some money. You ain't gotta call me about it. I'ma call you. That's a character. So all it does is put in my mind, this is broad's character. So when you tell me not only did she break it, she said she was gonna do something and she did it with a good attitude. You're not gonna find that because most women are trying to get over. They're like, oh, is he gonna say something? Oh, he didn't say something cool. You know, or she might not have said nothing. So when you have a woman like that, understand the character of most women, and the fact that she did that is like, it's high level. That's what I'm hey man, listen, that's a keeper. That's one of the ones you have you should have a sit down conversation with. Like, listen, I see you all in. Yeah.
So I think I need you in my life. You have a boyfriend? Why? What? Yeah. Who you love him? Yeah. Could you love me too or no? I'm just playing. You're so funny. No, what's your name though? You're so beautiful. And yours? Dino. Like dinosaur.
Spelled that way?
Yeah, it's spelled D-I-N-O. I'm from Serbia, that's why.
Serbia?
Yeah, Europe?
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
okay. I know, but you're very pretty though. How big is it? Where are you from?
I'm from the East Coast.
East Coast?
Yeah, so Connecticut.
Connecticut? Okay. Well, I hope you have a good day.
You too.
Nah, that's cheating to me. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. That's cheating to me. Entirely too friendly. She was asking follow-up questions, asking for his name, giggling, tee-hee, ha-ha, and she's looking up at him, holding eye contact the whole time. My shorty better have dismissed that conversation with a quickness. I'm not saying she gotta be rude to no man or disrespecting no man in public. I would never ask my shorty to do that. That's dangerous. But she should have dismissed that whole conversation so long ago. You asking for his name, where he's from, how you say his name, how do you spell your name? You giggling, ha-ha, tee-hee. Nah, bro, like that, ooh, that would have pissed me off. Oh, that would have, she was going. Like, all he had to do was apply more, all he had to ask her was like, hey, can you have friends? She would have gave him the Instagram, the phone number. That's cheating.
I made a video listing all the things I want in my husband, or my future husband, and I'm getting a bunch of comments like this. The thing is, though, I made that list in 2020 and met someone a year later that checks it all off and adds to it, like makes me think, wow, you're better than what I even dreamed of. So not to brag, but I'm going to show you all the things he's done that has changed my brain chemistry, and I'm not asking for too much because he is more than what I even asked for. Okay, first up, for our first official date, he said he always wanted to get dressed up and take a girl to a really nice restaurant, and he had never done that before, and he wanted to do it for me. He even went and got a whole new outfit and tailored blazer to take me on a date. For our 1-year anniversary, he surprised me with a cabin in the Smoky Mountains because I always wanted to stay in a cabin in the Smoky Mountains. But it wasn't just any cabin. It was like a honeymoon cabin with a heart-shaped tub, and it made me cry. I hadn't had a birthday where I felt special in forever, and this man took me out. We went and did all kinds of fun stuff. He made that whole day about me and took me to a Dolly Parton themed rooftop bar. We also did a photo shoot on my birthday at the Parthenon. And he bought me my first real thing from Gucci because I'm a dupe queen, and I'd been wearing a fake belt for years. And he's not even some rich boy. He just knew I really wanted one and saved up for it. He loves to travel and takes me on fun trips, which wasn't even on my list. They had to keep a mental health journal in the academy, and he wrote the whole journal to me and gave it to me on Valentine's Day. He plans date nights and takes me out all the time, and if we haven't gone out in a while, he's like, I feel like I need to do something for you, and he does something for me. I told him I was sad and really wanted to ride roller coasters and be in the sunshine, and he took me to Disney World. I'd never been to Disney before. He bought the photo pass too, so we have beautiful photos of our trip. He buys me bouquets every month, sometimes twice a month, so I can keep fresh flowers in our living room. He treats me like a queen. Yeah. So y'all can keep commenting, talking that I have too high of standards, but I don't think I do. The bar has been raised, actually.
Why does one man with one woman dump her, not want to be with her, ghost her, pull away, and then 6 months later with a new woman he's engaged? Why does that happen? It was the exact same man, 2 different women. I'm going to tell you why. Okay, number one is a man wants to make you happy. He wants to feel like he can make you happy, genuinely, that this woman is going to be happy with me, who I am, what I have to offer her and this world. He wants to feel that, but he does not want to be responsible for your happiness. Okay, let me say that again. He wants to make you happy, but he doesn't want to be responsible for your happiness. So if you are somebody that is very emotionally reactive to what a man does or doesn't do, that is why he will pull away from you and then go and get married and be engaged to another woman, because it is the other woman who is secure. It doesn't mean you have to be perfect. I want to be very clear. This is not about you've got to be perfect. You've got to be a robot. But if we're talking about quality masculine men, you do need to be secure in yourself. You do need to be happy on your own, and he needs to genuinely feel that. It is not something you're going to be able to fake. Okay, you can maybe fake it on the first date. Sure, maybe even the second, but eventually, if this is not something that is truly embodied, it is going to show up in your triggers, in your behavior, and the way you communicate to him, even in what you're sub-communicating to him. And he's going to feel that this is a woman who is not truly and genuinely happy on her own. Therefore, like, if she can't even be if she can't even make herself happy, there is no way on God's green earth I'm going to be able to make her happy. And therefore, he's just going to feel that this is not a safe connection for him, and he's going to move away and he's going to pull away.
A lot of these modern women keep on asking, where are all the chivalrous men at? What's going on with them? Well, it's simple. You mocked him into retirement. So now, instead of him coming out and approaching you, and even if y'all don't come together on some type of agreement, like, oh, I'm not interested, he might stick around and say, hey, you seem like a pretty cool dude. Now you don't even get that because you was being a loser, and now he's like, I don't want to deal with that.